this is Danny. So in this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate for you a new program called HotSpotRF. What this program does is it gives you a simulation of what the placement of a helium hotspot will do at any specific location around the world. And it will also, if you pay a monthly fee in the simulation, it will give you an estimation of how many helium tokens you can make in the course of 1 month based on several variables, most importantly, your location, also the location, position, separation of other helium hotspots around you. And another very important element is your elevation above the ground. We're going to look at 3 different places, and you're going to see a variance in the results, and I think you'll find it very interesting. So let's get right into it. Okay, I want to look at the first of 3 locations that I want to check out with HotSpotRF. First one is the place where I work when I'm not working at home, and it is in Stony Creek, Ontario. So let's take a look. We've got the settings. We're going to use the US Canadian 915 megahertz. That's important. The antenna gain, we're going to go with 4 dBi. That's going to match with the Bobcat miner. Cable loss is 0 because we use the built-in antenna. So we're going to set the height. We're going to say 5 feet because it's a 1-story building. And the terrain is going to be the suburbs. We don't have a lot of high-rise buildings around us. So I'm going to hit the button, simulate location, see what we get. Gotta wait while it calculates. Okay, so what we see here in the center, the circle, that's where the location that I chose. And then all around that is the green zone around it. So the reward scale is 1 because I'm not impinged by other people 300 meters or less around me. Now reach hotspots is all 0. So what does that mean? That means I'm a lone wolf here. There's nobody around the immediate area to help me. So my rewards are not going to be that great. The monthly reward, according to this, is going to be 1 helium token, which is worth about $15 right now. It says the rewards above below average at minus 98%. So this location is an absolute dud. Unless other hotspots come up near me, this is not a place to put a miner. So I'm not happy with that. I don't think we want to put any kind of money into this spot. So let's move on. Okay, so here's my second location. Of course, we're going to stay with the US Canadian frequency of 915 megahertz. I'm going to stay with the 4 dBi gain, which would be consistent with the built-in antenna on a Bobcat miner. My cable loss is 0 because I'm not running the antenna to the miner through a cable. The height, though, I'm on the 4th floor, and I've estimated that I'm at 48 feet above the ground. It's not above sea level, it's above the ground. And still, I'm in the suburbs. I'm not in a place full of a bunch of high-rises. The idea of a high-rise here is 4 floors, and I'm at the top floor. So that's not bad. So I'm going to hit simulate location, and let's see what comes up. What I'm interested in here is that my window, kind of off to the side, faces Toronto. I may not get much activity behind the building, but there's going to be a lot in front of the building. But let's see how we do with a 4 dBi antenna. So it's figuring its way out. Let's let it calculate. All right, now, I'm not seeing numbers yet. Okay, here we go. Wow, I'm amazed. According to this, every week I'm going to get 50 helium blocks, 50 helium tokens, monthly 218. So you take 218, multiply that by 15. What do you get? Well, that's a lot of money. Let me back it up. See if I can reduce what I'm looking at. This is amazing. Being on the 4th floor gives me an excellent vantage point to pick up on other miners. So this is very, very lucrative. It's an excellent spot to place a miner in my window. Now, it might be reduced a bit because this is going 360 degrees. It may be that anything behind me may not be picked up, but knowing that I face Toronto, I have a lot of confidence that I'm going to do well. So this is an excellent choice. It's going to do really, really well. So there you go. Okay, this is the 3rd and final location. This is a undisclosed location in St. Catharines, Ontario, where I will be able to place a miner. So in this case, again, 915 megahertz, 4 dBi, cable loss will be 0. Now again, this is a house, so we're going to go to 5 feet above the ground, and it'll be in the suburbs. It's where there's a lot of houses. Let's hit the button to simulate the location and see what we get. I'm really interested in this because I know from my initial investigation there is a second hotspot within the green zone around this location, which will really help. So let's see what happens. Okay. All right. Oh, not so bad. So when we look at this, the weekly is 3.85, monthly is 16 heliums. So that's pretty good. Not bad for a suburban area. So I'd have to say I'm really happy with it. So that's awesome. So we're going to see how that all works out, because I know there's another hotspot nearby. How do I see it? It's not really showing up that easily on there, but I know there's one nearby. So it's healthy. I can't say that it's a bad spot to be. That's awesome. So we'll go with that. Okay. Thank you. That's number 3. Hi. So what I've got here is a spreadsheet where I've gleaned the information from the simulations I've just performed. So I've got 3 locations. I've got Stony Creek, where I work, Burlington, where I live, and another location in St. Catharines. Stony Creek is 45 kilometers away from Toronto, the good. Burlington, 34 kilometers. St. Catharines, 67 kilometers. The first location in Stony Creek, I'm only getting 1 helium token per month, about $13.94. So this is kind of a dud. It's not a profitable place to put a helium hotspot, at least not right now. Then Burlington, this is where I live. Now, elevation is a key. I'm 48 feet above the ground. It looks like I'm going to be getting 218 helium tokens per month, $3,039. And then that's because my window overlooks Toronto, or faces toward Toronto. St. Catharines, this is a suburban area, main floor of a house. So we're not going to reach Toronto, but we're still making 16 helium tokens per month. That's not too shabby. It's a good start. And if the network builds around this location, it will become even more lucrative. Now, here's a bit of bad news. After August 1st, the halvening will occur. All rewards will be cut in half. So as of August 1st, the combined expected earnings will be $1,638. However, when the halvening occurs, it creates a certain scarcity in the market for these tokens and will cause their value eventually to increase. And that is the intention of those who created this. This halvening happens every 2 years. For Bitcoin, it happens every 4 years, and the same effect takes place. The coins become more and more valuable. So that's what I wanted to show you. Thank you. Okay, what I'd like to do now is a quick little addendum. I want to talk about what is a light hotspot. So in order to understand this, you have to look at the capabilities of the currently available helium hotspot. For instance, a Bobcat 300. It performs 3 functions right now. Number 1 is the transferring of device data. For instance, and because this network is all about the Internet of Things, you could have, for instance, a dog with a wireless collar, and the collar is constantly reporting information about the dog's location at all times. That information will be going through this network as data packets. That's where the majority of the income is made. Second is proof of coverage. What that is that ensures that all hotspots in the network are operating, that they're doing their job, carrying their load, and that they really do exist where they say they are. So they're checking on each other constantly through something called challenges. This is where a second source of income can be found. Thirdly is consensus. Consensus means the overhead that's required within the network. What happens is every so often a group of individual helium hotspot miners are chosen to perform this overhead task. It's kind of like a lottery. And if your helium hotspot is chosen to perform this function, you get quite a nice little windfall. So, but what's happening is that even at the time of this recording, the consensus groups are going away. The reason for that is that the small miners that are spread out around the world, they don't have enough computing power to perform this task anymore, and the network is slipping behind. That's because the network is getting larger and larger by the day. Currently, there's over 60,000 helium hotspots around the world. So what they've done is they are moving this responsibility over to what are called validators. Now, in order to be a validator, you have to possess at least 10,000 helium tokens. So at the current cost, that's like 120 to 140,000 US dollars that you would put up as a stake to be a validator. Secondly, you can't just do that with your personal home computer. You need very upscale, sophisticated powerful computer equipment and networks to make this happen. You can't do that from home. So what that leaves us with is after the validators go live, the best thing you want to get is an approved hotspot, which is capable of doing the transferring of device data and the proof of coverage. Now, because the consensus capability will be gone, yes, all current hotspots will still be able to function as approved hotspots, performing 2 of the 3 functions. But the benefit to us is new hotspots that are being prepared now, which are going through government and Helium consortium approval. When they come out in the next few weeks, they will only have to perform these 2 functions, and therefore they'll be a bit cheaper. There also are data-only hotspots. They will likely be even cheaper, but they won't be able to receive rewards for proof of coverage. One of the other benefits of having the newer approved hotspots is that you will not have to sync with the network, with the blockchain, which is something, for instance, with some Helium hotspots can take days and days. All that time, you're not making money. With the new ones, you don't have that requirement. So that's 2 good things about that. So anyway, I want to let you know about that's what's on the horizon right now, coming up very shortly. So anyway, I thought I'd let you know that. Thank you.